Get the yellow margin. Okay. It's not a good sign when they bring that out.
Uh-oh.
Golf there?
Get
Taking
them
out the yellow marker.
Really?
Oh,
Get them
yeah.
out because
I love the game.
that's another good sign.
What's that?
That's not a good sign either.
Mostly Gardner. We're playing Newton Commonwealth tomorrow, though, with some buddies from Boston.
I was exhausted today. Let me go for my 5-mile walk.
Uh-oh.
Too hot, tired.
Good evening, and welcome to the June 18th meeting of the Fitchburg City Council. I now call this meeting to order. Please be advised that FATV is conducting audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast. I ask that anyone else in the audience who is recording this meeting to please identify themselves for the record now by standing and stating their name and city of residence. At this time, I ask that all electronic devices be placed into silent mode. Councillor Kuchar, would you please lead us in salute to the flag?
It'd be my pleasure.
And the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councillor Kuchar.
Here.
Councillor Cragen.
Here.
Councillor Cruz.
Here.
Councillor Di Natale is absent. Councillor Fleming.
Here.
Councillor Green.
Here.
Councillor Schultz.
Here.
Councillor Van Hassinger.
Here.
Councillor Walsh.
Here.
President Zarilla.
Here.
And Councillor Boschman.
Present.
10 members present.
Thank you very much. We have no one logged in remotely for public comment. If there is anyone in the audience wishing to speak, please approach the center podium. Identify yourself for the record by name and city of residence and the agenda item on which you wish to speak, and you will be given not more than 2 minutes.
Jacqueline Wetchie, Fitchburg resident, item 4. As we sit in a heat wave before it's even officially summer, the TIE agreements are a mistake. They reinforce development of the most dense heat island in the city, Main Street, when we should be tearing down the derelict buildings to create green space and needed permeable parking. The climate crisis can only be solved by degrowth. While people need somewhere to live, it's best to space out development and surround it with green space to offset the heat sinks. We now have green space around all our public schools, and we should have it with our housing too. How many of you would want to live in this concrete jungle, much less raise children then? I think no one. Yet you all are making city residents pay more in taxes to subsidize rich out-of-town developers, to reinforce a failed urban planning strategy that is bad for the environment and bad for the taxpayer. Please note that these TIEs were initially presented to the Economic Development Committee tonight as waiving only 50% of tax increments, but in fact they are waiving 100% and for as long as 10 years. You've been pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into this one street for decades, and it hasn't restored Main Street's heyday of yesteryear, and it's not going to. Imagine a downtown of buildings interspersed with community gardens and graveled parking lots that are permeable and don't worsen flooding. There is a better way to do urban planning, but our 9 bureaucrats in the Community Planning and Development Department lack a planet-friendly vision for the future. Instead of giving developers these big tax breaks, you should do what various other New England communities do and make a condition of their building permit that they purchase some land in Fitchburg and donate it for preservation. It would be so nice if someone in our government cared about the environment and the taxpayer instead of corporate welfare.
Anyone else for public comment? All right. We have some announcements this evening. The next meeting of the Widowed Helping Widowed Support Group will take place on Thursday, June 27th from 4 until 4:30 p.m. in room 205 in the Fitchburg State University Recreation Center, 130 North Street. Kelly Lynn and Bernie Schultz will co-facilitate the meeting. I'm sorry, 4 until 5:30. Thank you. The City of Fitchburg has been approved for a grant that allows us to greatly subsidize the cost of backyard composting bins. which are great for anyone with a garden or even indoor plants. Backyard composting is a great way to help alleviate waste going to our quickly filling landfills and provide nutrient-rich fertilizer for home plantings. The bins themselves are made of recycled plastics and have easy-to-read assembly instructions available in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. You must be a resident of the City of Fitchburg to qualify, and there's a limit of 2 per household. Compost bin pickups will be at City Hall and will be arranged during the months of June and July. You will receive an email notifying you when they are available, along with the pickup dates. If there are questions, they can be referred to Sean Michael or Jean-Francois at the Board of Health. Board of Health at fitchburgma.gov or 978-829-1870. The Fitchburg Community Lions Club will be collecting eyeglasses at the Civic Days block party. The goal is to distribute 500 pairs of repurposed glasses to those with low vision. The table and collection site will be located next to the library from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And that is at the Civic Days block party. Could someone refer? That is July 3rd, correct?
Yes.
July 3rd. Just drew a blank on it. The first item on our agenda this evening is, Councillor Kuchar.
Thank you, Mr. President. I forgot to inform you that the Ward 3 meeting is this Thursday, 6 o'clock, Legislative Building.
All right, thank you very much. Our first agenda item this evening is a special presentation from Ms. Green of the Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience.
Hello,
Welcome.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you for letting me be able to come and represent the Small Business Administration. My name is Arlise Green. I'm a public affairs specialist with the Small Business Administration. I'm here today because Worcester County is one of the primary counties that is eligible for the disaster programs. We have programs for homeowners, renters, landlords, private and nonprofit organizations. One of the programs is with the physical damages. They can apply to get assistance to replace, to recover and restore to back where they was before the disaster took place. Let me go back. I'm sorry. The disaster that I'm speaking on is the one that occurred on September the 11th, 2023. I do apologize that we are running a little late getting here, but as you know, disasters are happening all over the place. And so we're here to bring these programs and make you, notify you of what we have available for your community. Now, the other program that we have is for businesses, nonprofit, and private organizations. And with this program, they do not have to have any physical damages. The damages comes with the loss of revenue, economic injury, and sometimes it takes 6 months to a year before a business can know that they have been impacted. So the deadline to apply for the physical damages will be July the 15th, 2024, and for the economic injury, it will be February the 18th, 2025. We give them that time period because, again, it takes a little while before a business can know that they have been impacted by the economic injury. So at this time, I did give you handouts, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. I will open the floor for any questions that you may have.
Councillor Green.
Do you have a local office that you are assisting out of at this point?
They do have one at the North Chamber, but it's going to be closing. If it has not already, but they do have another location at the Leominster City Hall that is still open. But if they're closing the centers kind of fast, so we try to encourage you to either go to the website and apply, which is disaster assistance, or call the 1-800 number that is listed on the handout.
Okay, so we can distribute what you gave to us, we can distribute to members of our community.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Councillor Boschman.
Yeah. You say no interest on these loans?
Oh, yes, it's interest.
Oh, there is interest. Oh, I thought I was reading the bottom line, so no interest.
If it was, I'd be applying.
Councillor, no interest for 12 months.
Yeah, the benefit of the program is for the first 12 months, there is no payments and no interest. But we do have interest for home loan. It can go as low as 2.5%, and for business, it can go as low as 4%, and for nonprofit organization, it is a set interest at 2.375. And let me point out this to you. For businesses, when a disaster happens, sometimes they can go take out a credit card or go get a loan, and their credit card is what, 21% interest?
Try higher.
Yeah, and so 4%, you can take that and pay off that credit card that you had to use to recover or get through that period of time to keep your business afloat while going through this disaster.
Is there, when you make out, is there a lot of red tape on this? I mean, when you're going through your program, you get all kinds of questions asked, and you got to...
No, it's very simple.
documentation. Very
No,
simple?
it is.
Now, let me ask another question. You said, where was that place you said they closing? How come you don't go and ask the Chamber of Commerce to set up shop in their place on South Street?
That's above my pay grade. You know, FEMA is the one that comes in and set up everything. So FEMA is the primary, and we just come in and piggyback off of FEMA because we just offer loans. We don't offer grants and other benefits that FEMA may offer. So FEMA is the primary, and they're the ones to come in and set up where they want their locations to be.
Okay, because I thought I read on the news or saw on the news that FEMA's having a hard time. They said they're going to go be broke by the end of the year. FEMA,
Oh, okay.
they're going to be broke. That's what I heard.
Well, I hope not, because I'll be with it. Are you going to hire me?
All right, I yield the floor.
All
Thank
right.
you. Councillor Schultz.
Yeah, I just had a question on the sheet that you gave us. It says the disaster, the severe storm was September 11th to the 13th. Well, in Fitchburg, we had a disaster July 16th of last year. It's not covered. That's not covered by
No,
the loan.
it's just the one that is covered in September, unfortunately.
So that wasn't left out. It's not covered.
But I wouldn't give up. I would call the 1-800 number just to confirm anything is possible. So I would just call them to just, ask the question. It wouldn't hurt.
Because we had a lot of damage on July 16th of last year with a storm.
And if the citizens does not let us know, because we're so busy working other disasters, it takes the citizens to report these things. And so you calling in and letting us know, and maybe we can get with FEMA and maybe something can be drawn up for that disaster. But if the citizens does not inform us or let us know, we may overlook some things. So I wouldn't give up. I would just call the 1-800 number and just simply ask that question.
Okay. Thank you.
And on that topic, if we were, hopefully not, but if we were to experience another event of that nature, and we did want to reach out and make sure that your organization is aware of it, should we just use the 800 number, or is there a better number that we should be reaching out to?
Well, we ask that you go through chain of command, and so you would need to reach out to your emergency manager first, and then your emergency manager would then reach out to FEMA, and then we will come in and piggyback off, once they have set something up.
I just wanted to clarify that because like you said, you're busy
understand.
doing a lot of things, and
Right.
I don't want to give the impression to our residents that if there's a bad storm, they should all be calling your hotline to say, hey, we had a bad storm, because
Right.
that'll just tax your resources.
Yes, yes, we ask that you go through the chain of command.
Right. Councilor Cragen.
Sure. I just wanted to say thank you for coming out. The connection that the City Council makes with the community and the connection that City Hall makes with the community really needs to be 100%. We all kind of need to know what we're doing, and I was really happy to see this because we are entering hurricane season. In all likelihood, there will be something catastrophic, and I know from having a family that had small business that, you know, in the olden days, you're on your own. You know, you're really on your own. We have small business owners, you know, at this table. We certainly have them watching. This is really great, and I'm assuming this will also be left at City Hall. And do you guys do a Facebook presence? Because a lot of folks do that in Fitchburg.
Could you?
Facebook, social media.
Right now, we just asked you to go to the website.
Yep.
We are in the process of setting up social media, but right now we're just dealing just straight to the website.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you again for having me and let me be able to come and present our program. Hopefully, it will be some resources for your community to be able to take part of.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Take care of yourself. How nice I am. Take care of yourself.
I don't. No. There is no.
It's on the agenda. It's on the agenda. No.
Okay.
There's nothing to be.
Okay, yeah. All right, we have no report of the Appointments Committee, as there were no appointments, and no report of the Committee on Records, as we have not had a full council meeting recently. So next we have the report of the Economic Development Committee. Vice President Van Hazinga.
Thank you, Mr. President. This evening, the Economic Development Committee met to consider 8 proposed tie agreements pursuant to HDIP. HDIP stands for the Housing Development Incentive Program. It's a state program which in which the state can award tax credits to help support market rate developments in gateway cities. As part of that process, the city has to agree to a tie agreement or a tax increment exemption. And the way that works is that the property taxes for the residential portion of a proposed development are frozen at their current rate for a period of time. So the property taxes do not go down. The taxes, if there's improvements to commercial space, will go up accordingly. But any increase due to improvements to residential space will be delayed according to the term of the agreement. For these 8 properties, the proposed terms were for 5, most of them were for 5 years, except for the 3 River Street properties, which consists of the Ivor Johnson Mills, which was proposed for 10 years. The rate of exemption ranges from 100% of the increase in property taxes down to 50% of the increase in property taxes. The first one was at 280 to 288 Main Street, which is proposed for 35 units. This is at the corner of Main and the Water Street Bridge, and that was recommended for approval. The second one was 326 to 344 Main Street. That's the corner of Main in the former Cushing Street. That was given leave to withdraw because it's no longer part of the proposed development. The next one is 329 to 335 Main Street. That's 8 units. That was recommended for approval. The next one is 347 to 355 Main Street. That's an 8-unit development. That was recommended for approval. There's 633 to 639 Main Street, which is proposed for 16 units, and that was recommended for approval. And the last 3 are 87, 89, and 91 River Street. These are the former Ivor Johnson Mills. This is the one that has the longer term of 10 years, and a total of 96 units proposed, and that was also recommended for approval. All of the votes were unanimous.
Councillor Fleming.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure I'm understanding this right. On the first, on 1, 2, 4, and 5, the taxes are going to be held for 5 years? Is that what I'm?
1, 3, 4, and 5. 2 is the one that was
Oh,
withdrawn.
okay, all right, yeah, actually, I did have that crossed out. So 1, 3, 4, and 5. So that's, the taxes are not, they're not going to be paid taxes for 5 years? That's what I'm. Not true.
No, it's not. So it's not how it works. So the agreements are for a term of 5 years. So for example, let's see, I can pull up 329 to 335 River Street. So they will continue to pay the same property taxes, or I'm sorry, not River Street, Main Street. Thank you, Mr. President. They will continue to pay the same taxes that they pay right now. They will continue to pay taxes on the commercial, because the first floor of the building is used as commercial space. They will continue to pay taxes on that. Nothing changes.
Okay.
They're going to improve the building and put 8 apartments upstairs. Normally, the assessment for that property would increase with the increase in value because they're making an investment. What we're saying is that in the first year after they make that investment, we will keep the property taxes the same. And we will do that for the second year and the third year. In the fourth year, we will only increase it 25%. We'll give them a 75% exemption just on the increase. So the level of taxes they're going to pay will not go down. We're just delaying the increase in assessment to increase the property taxes. Okay. So there are a lot of tools available to support the development of low-income or affordable housing projects. There are very few to support market rate housing development, which is what we need downtown. Okay. Basically, the one we have available to us is HDIP, the Housing Development Incentive Program. So in order for them to tap into the available funds from the state, those state tax credits, we have to do our part as a city and make our investment and come to a tie agreement.
Okay,
So
just wanted to
that's
make
what
sure I
we're
was
doing.
understanding it. Okay, thank you. That's all I have?
Director Murphy, did I miss anything?
No, you did quite well. Thank you. Very concise.
Councilor Brochman.
Yeah, I got a question for Liz Murphy, if that's okay with you. Liz, now, I noticed on property number 1, that's on Main Street down there, the bank, the former bank, the 35 unit.
280 to 288 Main Street?
Yeah, 280, 288 Main Street, yeah.
Yes.
We're giving 100%. My question is to you, I can understand the first year, but once they start renting the apartments upstairs, why don't we settle for like 50 or 60% and not give 100% when they're going to be using the services of the city of Fitchburg like everybody else does?
Yeah. And, the statement that they're going to be using the service is valid for all of these projects. That's absolutely true. But each development has different circumstances. This is a higher density than some of the other smaller ones, and they need 100% to make the project work for 5 years. It's not 10 years, it's 5 years.
Yes, I understand.
So they said the 50% doesn't work for them. It doesn't make their numbers work. So they are looking at more density, and it's a very challenging time to develop anything right now with
I heard that
construction costs being high and 8% is the interest rate. This not only does these tie agreements and this deferment of the increase in taxes, it not only helps their bottom line, but it also helps them when they go to their lenders to get financing.
When is this? If I say yes to these tonight, when are these projects going to start? That's my question. Is he going to say yes tonight, but 14 years down the road it starts?
Oh, please, I hope not. Well, right now nothing is happening because all of these projects have a financing gap. So their next steps would be, if this is approved, then the state will release their next round of HDIP applications. These applicants will all need to go apply and then get their tax credits. So their tax credits are a piece of what they need in order to make the project work. So I have no control over how long the state takes in this, but certainly it will take a lot longer if they don't have the tie agreements or the HDIP. And they cannot apply for the HDIP without us approving tie agreements.
Is that the Maura Healey's proposal on the State House where she wants to put more money to communities for development? that you keep on reading in the front page of the paper?
Broadly, there is a huge push to bring more resources to communities for housing development. I'm not sure if that's what you were referring to.
Yeah. Now, on River Street, I got one quick question on River Street. Whatever happened when, I remember them back in 2018 too, when they came in front of the council, they were going to have commercial on the first floor. Whatever happened, what was the reason why they dropped that plan?
I honestly can't speak to that because I wasn't there for that. I mean, I was still working for the city, but I wasn't involved in the tie agreements or the development. So I did not see the project for the first time until after the pandemic, till probably like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
I suspect the financing just didn't work out when they went back to look at it after the pandemic.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
They anecdotally mentioned that they had started, their numbers were 18 million to develop that before the pandemic in 2018, and now it's up to 30 million.
Now, I also was here when you were talking, and some of these developers already developed places on Main Street. Are they all current with their taxes and everything?
We will not
Counselor, the tax status of developers who are not before us for tie agreements is not on the agenda.
Well, sir, if they own taxes and they're part of this, why isn't it on the table?
So, speaking only specifically to any developers that are on this list for tie agreements.
We will not execute an agreement until and unless they are current on their taxes.
That's all I want to know. Thank you, sir. All right. I yield the floor.
Thank you. So I just want to make sure that it's clear to the public, because there was some inaccurate information stated earlier. This is costing the taxpayers $0.00. Our taxes are only going up from this, not down at all. Because you can't, I said this at Economic Development, but I'm going to say it again for the larger audience. You can't compare the development with the tie agreement to the development without the tie agreement, because there is no development without the tie agreement. What you really have to compare is the development with the tie agreement compared to no development at all, which means that even if we only collect additional taxes off these developments 5 years down the road, we're no worse off, and in fact considerably better off, than if we reject this and just let those properties continue to sit vacant and collect the same amount that we're collecting now, which is, I imagine, not very much. There is no case in which the revenues of the city are being reduced by these agreements in a way that would need to be subsidized by taxes paid by residents. That's simply incorrect on every possible level. Vice President Van Haziga?
Yeah, just as a cap to why we're looking to reach these agreements is that it's very difficult to make these projects financially feasible. This is why the pace of development in downtown has been relatively slow. It is taking years to get these projects going and completed, is that it costs a lot to redevelop these buildings, and it costs a lot just to build housing in general. Even though rents have increased over time, it's hard to close that financial gap. And there are programs available to support affordable or subsidized housing. There's not a lot to support market rate development, and that's what we're really trying to encourage downtown, is to get market rate developing downtown. And if we want to have these projects move forward, we need to use the resources available to us. Because if they don't have access to these tie agreements and therefore the HDIP tax credits, it makes it much, much harder to make these financially feasible, and these buildings will probably just sit empty and not be done. So it's not a question of giving away money that we are due. It's that we're not likely to see any of this development or increase in property taxes if we don't give it a helping hand to make it possible.
Thank you. Councillor Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, and I just wanted to add to what Vice President Van Hazen has said, that the HDIP program is designed so that developers come into places like Fitchburg, which is a gateway city, which they would not otherwise do, because once if they have a building that they're developing or a series of buildings that they're developing and they're paying $30 million or whatever to develop it, they're not going to get the rents that you would get from another city or town that is a little more well off. And so this then encourages that investment in a city like ours, and none of this is going to happen without these agreements. So thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Green.
Yes, I would like for us to look at these 7 proposed projects as kind of the, gold standard on how developers who want to move beyond, Main Street and north of Main, how we start to develop Summer Street, Lunenburg Street, further down maybe on John Fitch Highway, other areas, Ward 2, you know what I mean? Other areas in the city that have neglected properties that have sat vacant, as we know, for a long time, waiting for something to happen. Maybe this is it. So in order for that to happen, we give them a little bit, and then in exchange, they give us property that's back on the tax roll, hopefully now forever. Mr. Tosi's project, properties have been filled since inception, so that it's not like we're losing tenants. We are in a housing crisis now. This is going to help address that, and then moving forward, hopefully there'll be a time where there is no such thing as gap. You know what I mean? Where the rents are in line with what people are making, and that we don't need to embrace, affordable housing. We've got that covered. So, I want better for our community. I want better for our residents in every area of town. But, especially, downtown it's received a lot of money over a lot of time. So now it's time that we give a little to get a lot back, because I would like to see people who have money who can walk along Main Street and shop in the stores and support the businesses that are here, and then from that expand out from that. So I just want that to, this isn't a negative project. This is a positive project moving forward. So I just want to state that. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Schultz.
Yeah, I agree with Councilor Green that this is very positive for the city, and she mentioned some streets, but certainly Water Street is another area in Ward 1, in my ward, that needs development. Yes, and so if we attract these other people to Main Street, River Street, maybe they'll look around elsewhere in the city and develop elsewhere. So I'm firmly in favor of this. Thank you. I yield the floor.
Councilor Kuchar.
Thank you. I'm very interested in the project on River Street. That has been an area that has been a part of my ward for a very long time, and it's blighted. It's got numerous problems, and I'm happy to see this go forward. So I'll be approved.
And on that note, I would think I would be remiss if I didn't note for the full council that we did hear from the developers of the River Street project, and I think it's important to highlight, not only are they investing $30 million, they are investing heavily with personal equity and financing, and they're not from around here either. They've done most of their work in New Jersey. We all know, sitting here on this bench, that Fitchburg has immense potential. But I think it's very worth noting that someone who is not from Fitchburg, someone who has no stake, no prior stake, I should say, in the future of Fitchburg, thinks that Fitchburg is worth taking a $30 million risk on. That is an incredibly positive development, and I want everyone to note that. this is exactly the sort of development, exactly the sort of reputational upgrade that we've been seeking for Fitchburg for as long as any of us sitting here have been on this council.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and second to approve the report and recommendations of the Economic Development Committee. If there are no objections, it is unanimously approved. Report of the Finance Committee. Councilor Giannatalli is not with us this evening, so I will proceed. The Finance Committee met on June 12th and took up 3 items. 13724 was an order that there be and hereby is transferred the total sum of $33,201 from a series of 5 accounts within the law department to law expenses city solicitor. I can read off the individual accounts if anyone wants me to, but you'd like me to read off the individual accounts? Okay. Law Personal Services Department Head, $2,871. Law Other Expenses Code Enforcement, $600. Law Other Expenses Damages Persons and Properties, $10,000. Law Other Expenses Litigation and Special Counsel, $9,730. And Law Other Expenses Labor Negotiator, $10,000. All transferred to Law Expenses City Solicitor. That was adopted by a vote of 4-1. 13824, order that the City of Fitchburg hereby approves the expenditure of grant funds from the United Way of North Central Massachusetts in the amount of $38,360, awarded to the city's summer recreation program from the DESE After School and Out of School Time Program Grant. That was adopted unanimously. And 13924, order that the City of Fitchburg hereby approves the expenditure of grant funds from the North Central Mass Development Corporation in the approximate amount of $12,000 for the purpose of assisting businesses with signs and awnings. That was adopted unanimously.
Make a motion to approve the report of the Finance Committee.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Did I see your hand?
I'll wait until the motion is done, and then I'll speak on the motion.
All right, and
I'll make a motion to take 13824 to
We already got a
139.
motion.
so we have a motion, but
On the motion?
on the and you'd like to take what out of the package?
No, I want to take 13724 out.
Out. Okay.
I'll withdraw my motion.
All right. So can I have a motion on 138 and 13924?
So be.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. I have a motion and second to approve the recommendation of the Finance Committee as to 138 and 13924. If there is no objection, seeing none, they are unanimously approved. 13724 is now before the
I
council.
make a motion with 13724 we accept.
Second.
I have a motion and second. On the motion, Councillor Kuchar.
So this was supposed to be a savings for the taxpayers of Fitchburg. We have blown through over well over $60,000, which was remaining from the last city solicitor from his pay. Now they want another $33,000 on top of that in order to pay for the city solicitor. Well, rough math, and I'm not going to go into the decimal points and whatnot. That's now $90,000. Okay, that's 6 months. And they're asking for 165 in this past budget? That math doesn't add up. Where's the savings? This experiment of yours is failing. And I'll be damned if I'm going to approve this. Both Councilor DiNatale on the finance said that this was the wrong move. Me, legally, I said this was the wrong move. And here it is. We're flushing our taxpayers' money down the toilet because people wanted to experiment. See if this is going to save us some money. I don't see any money being saved. I yield the floor.
Councillor Green?
I just have a question. I'm not sure if the mayor can answer or where we're going to get the answer, but with this new amount, so we were told during budget that it was 60,000, now an additional 33,000. Am I to understand that we are now $90,000+ kind of in the hole up until June 30th, and we've got another, week or 10 days of invoices and stuff coming in? So where are we? I'd like to know what the number is. Where are we going to be on June 30th? If we're $93,000 now, should we expect it to be 100,000, 110,000? I'd just like to know where we should be expected to be.
Is this anticipated, Madam Mayor, to cover us through the end of the fiscal year, this transfer?
This interdepartmental transfer?
Yes.
I believe that is the case, yeah.
So if we were to approve this, we should not need any further transfers or supplemental funding to cover up through July 30th.
June 30th?
June 30th, thank you.
Yeah, I'd really have to check with Auditor Cronin as to the exact status of the funds. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can I request that be like a communication from Jackie Cronin to us, just letting us know the actuals and where we are, maybe in participation of June 30th?
I would join Councillor Green in that request, too.
All right. It sounds like that will be done. I'll just note that for my part, I'm not exactly seeing how the math works out either. Where this is a transfer from within of money that's already been appropriated to the law department, I'm willing to go with it. But if in the coming fiscal year we need supplemental appropriations to cover overruns on the budgeted law department amount, then that's, in my mind, that would be a very different discussion to have. Anyone else on the motion? Councillor Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, and I just want to reiterate your point. This is an interdepartmental transfer. It's not additional funds, and these sort of things happen all the time throughout departments throughout the entire city. The Parks and Rec, DPW, the police, overtime, circumstances happen. This is just normal governance. It really is. It's an interdepartmental transfer. I yield the floor. Thank you.
Thank you. And I agree. I mean, there are many of us, myself included, who were, and to some extent still are, deeply skeptical of the financial wisdom of the new law department arrangement. But if this were any department except the law department saying, I need to move money from one account within my department to another account within my department just to make the books balance at the end of the year, we approve those by the dozens and don't bat an eye. Councillor Fleming.
Yeah, I think we don't bat an eye because those are not presented to us as being cost saving. This is not saving us anything. We are literally drying this department's budget right out. So I don't know if I'm going to be keen on voting for this time. And it just seems it just one after another after another. And I've been pretty much approving all of them, but it just seems it's every other week. So I don't know if I'm going to vote for this item.
All right. Did you have something additional, Councillor Kuchar?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. With all due respect to my fellow ward councillor, Councillor Cruz, this, although you are right, we do interdepartment transfers all the time. It's a regular occurrence, but this is telling of what Councillor Di Natale and myself told the council, 5 months ago? 5 months ago that this is going to be the boondoggle, which I'm glad I was able to increase your vocabulary.
Oh, my God.
The boondoggle. See, I remember. I remember what you said. The boondoggle that it is, and we're going to continue to flush money down the toilet because it was the experiment to go privatize with our legal services, which shows that it's not saving us any money at all. In fact, we're going to be wasting more money. But I yield the floor. And it's no, please don't take offense, Councilor Cruz.
He is. He's very broken hearted.
Councilor Schultz.
Just on the motion, the only thing I'm concerned about is, and it's a small amount, is that $600 from code enforcement. And isn't the assistant city solicitor doing most of the code enforcement? So that money's being taken away from her to give to the solicitor. I'm just concerned about, the final weeks. Is she going to have enough money to do the code enforcement for the last couple of weeks? But there's nobody here to answer that question.
If she were here, I would certainly ask that question, but I have to assume that it was discussed with her and that she said she didn't
They had a
need it.
conversation about that, yeah.
Yeah, the solicitor works with the assistant solicitor and appoints them.
Right, and just for future reference, I have to remind you, we have a motion on the table, so, or not on the table, you know what I mean, before the council.
Because as a ward council, that's code enforcement is, we do hear a lot about.
Oh, certainly,
those
certainly.
issues. So I wouldn't want that. I would hope that the assistant city solicitor will have enough funds for the rest of the fiscal year to operate, because it is very important for the taxpayers that we are in touch with. Thank you. I yield the floor.
All right, I have a motion and second.
Mr. President, I request the votes be taken. It be done so at a roll call.
Certainly. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
And we're going to start with Councilor Kuchar,
No.
Councilor Cragan,
Yes.
Councilor Cruz,
Yes.
Councilor Dion-Talbot, yes. Councilor Fleming,
No.
Councilor Green,
No.
Councilor Schultz,
Yes.
Councilor Van Hassinger,
Yes.
Councilor Walsh,
Yes.
President Zarella,
Yes.
and Councilor Boschman.
Yes. 7-3.
7-3.
Yep, motion passes 7-3.
Still made my point.
We have 14424, order that the City of Fitchburg hereby approves the expenditure of grant funds from MassDOT Aeronautics in the approximate amount of $821,730 for the purpose of grooving the 3214 runway. That will stand referred to the Finance Committee. We don't need a suspension on that, do we, Mr. Kettle? Okay, excellent. And then we have two petitions for Class 2 dealer licenses, 142 and 14324, which will both stand referred to public safety. And that concludes our business for the evening.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have multiple motions and multiple seconds to adjourn. I will assume I have no objections, and we are adjourned.